Namaste, namaste, namaste. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum, sat sri akal. So wonderful to see you all today. So our practice today is the practice of it's Ganesha. It's a Ganesh practice. It's Ganesha Chaturthi. Chaturthi is a 10-day festival, and it is celebrating the creation of Ganesha, the arrival of Ganesha on earth. And this 10-day period is the creation and the dissolution. So it starts with the creation and moves into dissolution. And yogically, it has great significance. All of the stories of the deities, all the myths have yogic symbolism in terms of the philosophy that sits and informs our practice of yoga. And we'll explore that as we move on through our practice. Let's come into our seat on the earth, a steady, comfortable seat. You may be sitting on a blanket or a folded blanket, a cushion, or a block. Ground down into the earth through all the points of your body that are connected with the earth. Lengthen through the spine. Lift the crown. Let's bring our thumb and ring finger together. Palms either face up or face down as you choose. Coming into this space of the self. Begin to focus on the breath. Notice the flow of the breath in and out. Begin to expand the breath. We'll begin by Dirga Pranayam, the 3-part yogic breath, as we prepare to open our practice. Inhaling, draw the breath into the belly. Allow the belly to expand. Ribs to expand. Chest to rise. Exhaling, draw the navel back towards the spine. Ribs curl in, chest falls. Dirga Pranayam, 3-part yogic breath. Belly, ribs, chest on the inhalation. Navel, ribs, chest on the exhalation. So notice how the breath moves in these 3 stages. Consciously take your awareness to the part that is expanding, rising into its fullness on the in-breath. Then take your conscious awareness to the part that contracts and draws in on the out-breath. Breathe like this 3 times. Dirga Pranayam. Inhale, belly expand, ribs open, chest rises. On the exhale, navel draws in, ribs curl in, chest falls. Ganesha Chaturthi is helping us to connect with the physical essence of our being. the practice today. And the chakra associated with Ganesha is the Muladhara, the root chakra. So we're drawing the breath down towards the root. We're drawing the breath out from the root. Inhaling, last round of Dirga Pranayam, belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling, navel, ribs, chest. And let's bring our palms together in Namaskar at the heart center. Opening by chanting Om, and then Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, the invocation to Ganesha 3 times. Inhale fully to prepare. Om. 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 Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om. Welcome to your practice. Welcome to the self. Welcome home onto your mat. So this 10-day festival of the creation of Ganesha, the most well-known of deities from the mythology of Sanatana Dharma, the elephant-headed deity, a celebration to honor the symbolism of the creation and then the symbolism of dissolution. This symbolism is the creation and dissolution of the physical self itself, so that we move beyond the physical into the ethereal, into the spiritual, into the divine, which is beyond this external self. Let's start by removing your cushion or block if you are seated. Bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. And now here, sense the essence of your belly, whether it's a small belly or a large belly, or, you know, with rolls, whatever kind of belly you have here, this is your belly. And then give it the space to expand. Ganesha is known for his large head and his abundant belly. And these are significant iconography of Ganesha. The large belly is the abundance of forgiveness, of joy, of laughter. And the large head is significant of intellect, wisdom, intelligence. Thinking about what is located in the head, here we have the Agnya chakra, the Soma chakra, and the Sahasrara chakra. These chakras that are connected with intuition, with insight, with sense of spiritual enlightenment, expansion, illumination. And here at the belly, think about which chakras are located here. We have the root, the Muladhara, the Swadhisthana, the Manipur. These are so we have the upper chakras, and then we have the lower chakras, and these are very much rooted in the experience of life, the experience of the self. The rooting is the home, the foundation, stability of the family of origin. And we have the Swadhisthana, which is the creative, emotional self. And then we have the Manipur, which is the driven, transformative self. So these two are bridged by the heart. These upper and lower chakras are bridged by the heart. I start talking, don't I, my friends? Okay, let's lengthen. And as you exhale, fold as far forward as you are called to drawn. Hinging forward from the hips, allowing the belly to have all of the space so that we can mold the space. Our practice today very much of molding, crafting the clay, the material clay from which the Ganesha Murti, these little statues, are crafted during this celebration. And think about now here, as you turn inward in this moment, and as you become very aware of the self here at the abdomen, as you fold over into the lower chakras, as you activate the lower chakras, the parts of the self with which you identify, or the parts of the self which others see foremost in your presentation in the world, in your outward presence in the world. Identify these characteristics or these behaviors that are most associated when you think of yourself or others think of you, whether it's Katie or Emily or Kevin or Catherine or Kelly, or these two beautiful hands here. Take a full breath in through your nose and exhale out through the mouth into this space. In through the nose, out through the mouth into the space of the belly. In through the nose, out through the space. Rise up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale over to the right. Hand goes onto the knee, left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind. Gaze over the shoulder. Inhale through center, over to the left. Seated Matsyendrasana, seated twist. Inhale, center, reach up. Exhale, extend the left leg long, draw in the right heel. Into the space that we have, let's lift the belly physically with the hands and then fold over onto the earth. Flex that left foot. And these deep Dirga pranayama today. So connect with this three-part yogic breath, drawing the breath into the abdomen, drawing the breath out from the abdomen. One more breath here. Inhale to reach up. Exhale over to the left. So take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Gaze over the shoulder. Over to the right. Back to center. Let's draw that left leg in. Extend the right leg long. Again, lift the belly and fold forward. Flex the right foot. Deep Dirga Pranayama. Ganesha is the deity of new beginnings. The deity creates the new opportunities, invites you to follow that path, draws you along into a different direction. But also this deity Ganesha is known as the placer. So not only the remover of obstacles that might be your doorway towards new opportunities or new beginnings, but also the placer of obstacles, which turn you away. When we think about this metaphor of one door closes and another opens, this is a metaphor for Ganesha. Inhale to rise up. Exhale over to the right. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Gaze over the shoulder. Inhale, center, over to the left. So really connect here with the root, the Muladhara, and its seat on the earth. This foundation, this base that you have. Back to center. Let's draw the leg in. And we're going to come directly onto our knees here. Take the knees wide, big toes touch. So take up some space here. Take the hands wide. Now the folds of the belly. I love my belly folds. Now, when you're ready, my friends, let's walk the hands forward. And we're going to come into melting heart, Anahatasana, by bringing the eyebrow center down towards the earth, a block, a blanket, a bolster. Spread the arms long. If it feels too tight for your shoulders, take the arms wide or fold in one arm and extend one arm. If my sound goes funny, somebody send me a message. But it should be okay. When my earphone falls out, I lose sound. We'll talk about the creation, the origin story of Ganesha in a moment. In the origin story, we draw upon Parvati and Shiva, the Adi yogi, the first yogi, the most profound yogi, Adi yogi. They are said to be the creators or the parents of Ganesha. But remember, we're talking about mythical beings. We're not talking about human beings. So when we use the language of the human, we are actually talking about something which we cannot express. These sort of mythical beings. If you have one arm reaching forward, fold that in and extend the other arm here in your variation of Anahatasana. Just to even this out. Really extend through the arms, the fingers, the spine. This is a wonderful pose for opening up the length of the spine, creating all of this space within which to move into. We're creating more space so that when we are thinking about the expression of ourself, we have space in which to be that self. Let's walk the hands back towards center. Place the right hand in the center of the mat, directly underneath the heart. Draw the left arm across the heart to reach up. And then as you exhale, let's fold the left arm underneath and bring the left ear and shoulder to the mat. Take a moment here. Now for your right hand, which is providing you with a stable, let's come up high onto the fingertips and bend into the elbows so you create a stable scaffold. So if you look at how I've created my scaffold, I create a scaffold like this. 3 deep breaths here. And then let's come back up to the sky with the left hand and go in the other direction, right hand. Exhale to fold that underneath you. And then let's bring the left hand into our scaffold by coming up high onto our fingertips. This is known as Parivrita Balasana or Suchirandasana. So it's either known as child pose with a twist, or threading the needle pose. One more breath here. And then let's come back up and walk the hands forward. And let's do cat-cow here. So keep the knees wide. Cat-cow here, this variation of the cycle going through spine. Inhaling cat, Majriyasana, exhaling cow, Bitlyasana. And it feels very different when we create this space to practice. And when we're done, my friends, let's bring the knees in parallel. Take a moment here. Tuck the toes to activate. And then reach the left leg long behind you, parallel to the earth. We're going to shift the weight into the left hand and reach forward with our right arm, the trunk. Balancing tiger pose, Sarvalasana. Exhale, let's bring the right elbow to the left knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, bring the right elbow to the left knee. So hugging them in towards the center to meet, to kiss, and then reaching out. When we've done 3 rounds, let's bring the right hand to the earth, bring the left knee to the earth, tuck the toes. Let's reach back along with the right leg, parallel to the earth. Reach forward with the left arm. Balancing here. And then when we're ready, my friends, let's kiss the elbow to the knee, the left elbow to the right knee. Three times. And then hands to the earth, knee to the earth. Take a moment. Maybe do some circles here with the spine. Figure of 8 with the hips and the spine. Create some movement. Remember, we're molding clay. So the story is, the origin story of Ganesha is Parvati had not seen Shiva for 12 years. Shiva had gone to the top of the Mount Kailash. And Shiva was there with his companions. So Parvati created a child. It is said that when she was bathing, she shed off the skin, and all of the skin that she shed, all of the stuff that she let go, she molded that into Ganesha. Another story is that she gathered clay from the river and molded Ganesha from clay. Ganesha, her offspring. Take a moment, coming into stillness. Let's bring the feet together. Again, knees wide. And lift here. So keep the knees together, keep the toes tucked, lift, take the knees out. So you almost look like a frog. And then let's straighten up the legs so that they meet, and then bend. So I don't know the best way I can show you. Let's try forward. So I've got my knees open, and then when I straighten up, my knees come together. So this is a variation of our mountain pose. So feet together, knees wide, and then together, stretching up. So we'll move like this 3 times. So almost touching the earth. And then let's come to stillness. Take the feet wide as your mat, hands as wide as your mat. Generous mountain here, Kailash mountain. In your Parvatasan here. Let's take a breath in through the nose, out through open mouth. My friends, from here, let's shift the weight into the left hand. Take the right hand and reach it underneath your body towards the left leg. And then take hold of the left leg wherever your hand reaches. So it might be reaching the ankle, the calf, the thigh. It may not reach all the way. So just thread it across. And then take your head underneath the left armpit and gaze over to the left. And twist here. 3 deep breaths. Thinking of this right arm that's reaching across as the elephant trunk. When Ganesha was molded from clay, Ganesha presented as a child with a human appearance, with the head of a child, the body of a child. And he was obviously much loved by Parvati. Let's release that right hand and let's take the left hand and thread that across underneath our body over to the right leg. Take hold of your ankle or your calf and then gaze underneath your right armpit, coming into a twist here. I know you're working hard here, my friends. Where these the twists and turns of the torso, the twists and turns of the trunk is a way of clearing the path or clearing the self of all of its residue so that we can leave behind as we move from one path into another path. I have been very decisive with some real support from my friends this weekend, as I recognize that I closed the doorway on one path where Ganesha has placed many obstacles for me. And now I'm invited to travel onto another path. But I must let go of all of the residue that is associated with that path that I am leaving behind. In this way, this is how I apply the philosophy of yoga to the choices that I make in life. Release the right ankle, bring your left hand back to the earth, and now walk your hands back towards you so you come into a wide functional forward fold. Stay high up on your fingertips. You can also place your hands on blocks here, a low footstool. So we're sort of hinged here. Take the hips back behind the heels. Elongate the spine. Sides of the ribs. Breathe into the abdomen, breathe into the lower back. Breathe wide, expand the ribs here as you breathe. Take up space here. Think about all the space that your belly has just to hang out in its abundance. One breath more, and then let's walk the hands all the way back. Slide them up the legs as we straighten up, come to standing. Take a moment and then let's turn on our mat so we have more space on our mat to work with. Here, so where am I in my story? Yes, so Parvati has created Ganesha. There's 2 versions of the story, from the residue of what she brushes off, the dead skin cells that are shed. Thinking of a snake, as we shed skin cells, we shed layers of the self. And then another story is molding him from the clay, from the river. Standing here, wide-legged, hands wide. And let's sway here. So I want you to swaying the arms from side to side. And as you do, come up onto the toe here. So we're swaying from side to side. And as you inhale, go to the left. As you exhale, to the other side. So inhaling one direction, exhaling in the other direction. And if you wish, open your mouth and let release the breath out as if it's a sigh. Very freeing, very liberating. This coolness of the air, the release and the relaxation through the body. Feel the weight of your arms as you swing down. Feel the weight of the breath as you release the breath, the weight of the self that is released with the freeness of the breath from side to side. 3 times. And then back, let's slow down into stillness, into center. Take a moment here. Let's heel toe, heel toe, heel toe together. So our feet are parallel. Bend into the knees, hands onto your thighs. And bend deeply into your knees here. So we're coming into Utkatasana, chair pose or strong pose, hugging the navel. Take a moment here. And now reach down even lower. And now let's begin to do cat-cow with our spine. So spinal flex is here. So you're bent into your knees. Your toes are, perhaps you can lift your toes here so that the weight is in the 4 corners of your feet rather than toes. Waves here, spinal waves. Again, this movement. Think about how we mold clay when we work with our hands. The malleability of the clay itself. I just looked at the time and realized I've spent so much time talking. Let's come to stillness now in your Utkatasana. Bring your hands together in Namaskar at the heart. Take a moment here. And then let's hook our right elbow over our left knee. Right palm is face up, left palm face down. Coming into this twist here. Option from here, my friends, is to reach the right fingertips down towards the earth and the left fingertips up towards the sky. And then you can bring your finger and little thumb and little finger to touch in your mudra, your Prithvi mudra. Back to center, turn your heart. Take a moment if you need to release the thighs, straighten them out for a moment. And then let's bend back into them. Hands at the heart, twist over to the left, hook the left elbow over the right knee, press the right palm into the left palm, and gaze over to the right in your Parivritta Utkatasana. So the story goes that Parvati was taking a bath one day, and she asked Ganesha, her child, to stand and guard the entrance, the doorway, the portal to wherever she was bathing. Wasn't a traditional bathroom like we have. It was in the waters. And after 12 years, inhale back to center and then rise up, exhale, fold forward. After 12 years, Shiva decided to return and visit with Parvati. And as he approached the lake in which she was bathing, he met Ganesha standing, blocking his path, preventing him from entering, from following the path towards the lake. Inhale, swing your arms back, swing them forward, swing them back. So let's do some swings here, backwards and forwards. 3 times or more if you feel drawn to it. And then just come to standing, open out the legs wide, bend into the knees. Let's come into our Utkatasana Konasana. Turn the toes out. Take a moment here. And you can sway here. So we're really sitting down low here. We're working with the Muladhara chakra. So the Muladhara is associated with family, history, ancestry, the land of our origin, our story, our origins here. So arrives Shiva with his Trishul, demanding to be let through. Ganesha is there guarding the pathway and refusing entry to this way. So Shiva, in his anger at this small child in front of him, preventing him from entering, takes his Trishul and swipes and chops off the head of Ganesh. Parvati hears the commotion, comes running out and realizes that Shiva has just decapitated her child, their child. Let's sway from right to left. See the swaying of the... What we're doing here, you might wonder, why we're swaying so much? We're swaying because we're clearing the path. So keep one knee deeply bent here. And you can keep your palms together, which is what I like to do, but you can also swing your arms. And let's start going lower now. Each time we go, sink a little lower. You'll begin to recognize where we're going into Skandasana. And you can be moving quickly, you could be moving slowly. We're releasing stuck energies. So there we are, poor Ganesha. And now Parvati is distraught, Shiva is distraught. And he rushes off into the forest and vows to replace the head of Ganesha with the first head that he comes across. And he comes across a fallen elephant. And he takes the head of the elephant and returns back to Parvati and Ganesha and places the head of the elephant on the child. And Shiva and Parvati revive Ganesha and he rouses up. And now we have our elephant-headed deity, this small child with the head of an elephant. Back to stillness. Keep your feet on the earth, spread very wide. Turn the toes so they point forward. Bring the hands to the earth, wide-legged forward fold. So really hinge from the hips here. Allow the crown to hang heavy here so that we're folding forward. Now, if a headstand is in your practice, this is your opportunity to go into a headstand. If it's not, and it's not in my practice, unsupported, I can do a headstand, but with support, and I'm not going to do it here. Let's come down towards the earth. So I like to bring my hands together in a clasp and then bring my hands on my forearms. And then this is enough of an inversion for me. So your inversions don't up in the air. Your inversion is your head below your heart. So here we are, we're molding the head of an elephant onto our Ganesha, the child. And the symbolism of this story is that often it is our ego. This very prideful sense of self can be stuck in the mind. And we think that's where the self is. We think we are our minds. We think we are what we think. We think we are our thoughts, but we're not. The mind is a process of, is a place of activity, but does not define us, does not make us. It is not who we are. The essence of who we are is beyond the mind, beyond the physical self. It is intangible. And therefore, the way that we are molded. So here we have Parvati molded the shape. Then we have Shiva, who chooses an elephant head, finds an elephant head, and then again recreates another form. This creation of form and recreation of form happens throughout life. So we are never stuck with one creation or one aspect or one self. We can change and evolve and be whoever we want in whatever expression of self we wish. If you are in a headstand or you're in a forward fold, let's begin to come back up. Bring your hands onto the earth. Bring your heels a little bit closer. We're going to come into a twist. Place the right hand let's place the left hand at the center and then reach underneath the body to take the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Now, wherever the hand reaches, it could be the ankle, could be the calf, or a little bit higher. So let's be here for one moment and begin to turn the body. So bend into that right elbow and take the heart over towards that left knee. And again, you may look underneath the left armpit. And so this is when we talk about Ganesha Chaturthi, we are talking about this creation of Ganesha from this molding of the clay or the molding from the residue of what Parvati has shed, and this creation by Shiva of the elephant-headed boy, elephant-headed child, elephant-headed being, traditionally described as a boy, but a being, a form. Remember, the deities are beyond gender, yet we talk about them in those terms because we use gender-conforming language for so long in this modern world. But when we go back in time, we were beyond gender. Take one more breath here and you'll twist over to the left, turn your head to center, release the right hand, and then let's take the left hand over to the right leg. And again, let's draw the heart towards the right leg. Perhaps we gaze underneath our armpit over to the right. Twisting to the right now. Let's take 3 more long breaths here. And then release the arm to the center for a moment. So let's come back to center, neutralize here. Now we're going to cross our arms. So cross at the elbows and reach for your legs. Now here, you might want to have your legs wide depending on the expanse of your arms and the length of your arms, or you might want to heel toe your feet a bit closer so that you can take hold of your legs. So you sort of cross your heart approach here. Toes are pointing forward. Crossing your arms, taking hold of opposite legs. So this variation of Prasarita Padottanasana, crossing and swaying and twisting. One more here. And then let's release the hands. Come up halfway, high up onto your fingertips. And then bend into your knees, turn out your toes, and rise up in Devi Asana. Straighten up, turn the right toes up to the right, turn the left toes to a 45-degree angle. And then turn the body, turn the hips and pelvis over the right leg, bend into the right knee here. So we come into Warrior One variation here. Hands at the heart. Take a moment here. And again, you might want to lift the belly, connect with the belly here. Sinking into the hands, sinking into the knees, sinking into the hips. Take the arms out wide behind you. Turn onto the ball of that left foot. And if you're ready, my friends, let's take flight here. So lift up the left leg and reach forward with the crown coming into Virabhadrasana 1. The hands can keep reaching behind, or you can take your arms to reach forward. Find what you wish to do here. You can also bring your hands to your heart. Or if you have doggies in front of you, you can always stroke your doggies. Give them a little tickle and a scratch. And then let's find the earth behind us. And then rise up again in Warrior 1. This time hands reach up wide. Now open up into Warrior 2. So you might need to adjust your stance here. Hands in your Prithvi Mudra. Exhale. Shanti Warrior. Again. Rub your belly. Belly full of laddu. Sweetness. Laddu is an Indian delicacy. Round yellow. Sugary. Very rich. Sweet. And then back into Warrior 2. Turn the right foot forward. Let's turn the left foot towards the bottom of the mat. Now make sure we've got that right angle, that 45-degree angle on the right leg. Turn the hips and pelvis over to the left leg. Bend into the left knee. So we come into Warrior 1 here. Hands can come at the heart here. Wherever you like to be here. Now we're going to do the thing where we float forward. So I'm going to make sure I've got enough distance from the wall. Arms can go alongside you. Turn onto the ball of that right foot and then lift that right leg up. Come into your variation here, Warrior 3. So arms alongside your body, hands at the heart, or hands reaching forward. You can even touch the wall in front of you, hold the wall. Then when you're ready, let's find the earth behind us. Come back into Warrior 1. This time, let's reach up. And again, you might want to adjust your stance. Open out into Warrior 2. And then into Shanti. Back open. Turn the right foot. Take a moment here. Hands reach up. And now let's create these big circles. So bend into your knees. And you can create circles in both directions. Take up space. And I invite you to breathe out through open mouth here. Make sure my sound works. I don't know if it does. No idea if my sound. I'll find out. And clearing. And then at the end of 10 days of this festival, this murti of Ganesha is taken down to the river and placed in the river, and the clay dissolves back into the water. And that is the culmination of the festival. And so this dissolution is the end of one journey, the beginning of another journey. And in this 10 days, you can have the opportunity to create and dissolve, to mold and remold, create and recreate, choose one path and then go to a different path. See where your obstacles have been. If there are obstacles placed there and one path is really challenging, it's really difficult, it's really hard, it doesn't bring you any joy or comfort or support, then that is not the path for you. So find another path. That is Ganesha placing obstacles there intentionally. And I have had a great awakening to that myself. It's almost as if, and this realization came upon me yesterday, but this may come upon you over the next 10 days, this realization that this path is not for me. That is the path that is calling me, that is drawing me, where I will find my joy, where I will find my solace, where I will find friendship. Talking, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Let's come down in Malasana. I thank you so much, my friends, for coming back to my classes again and again. Most people will be like, we do very little yoga and mostly talk. Yeah, we do less asana and we do more philosophy talking. That's true sometimes. So let's hear in our Malasana, my friends. Now here, again, let's place the left hand on the earth and draw the right hand up towards the sky. And wrap the right hand behind you. So you tuck it into your left hip here. So your left thigh. And open the heart towards the sky. Gaze up towards the sky. This left hand on the earth, you can use it on the inside of that left thigh to create an opening. Inhale, turn to face the earth with your head, release the hand. And let's place the right hand on the earth on the inside of the right leg. And then let's reach up with the left arm and wrap it round towards the lower back on the right side, or you can tuck it into your thigh here. And then again, lots of space for our abdomen here. And then spiral the heart and gaze up towards the left. And I'm using my right forearm, upper arm on the inside of my right thigh to help support me as well as to create an opening. One more breath here. And then turn to gaze down towards the earth. Release the hand, come down to the earth, my friends. And here, let's bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. And let's like sway the knees here, opening, fluttering them, opening and closing them. Full belly here. Check your abundance, size of your head. Now, has there been this, when we sink into the Muladhara and the physical self with awareness, what rises up for us is clarity and intuition and deep intelligence. We have the wisdom within already to see which are the paths, which are the roots, which is the self. If someone sees me in a particular way and I'm not that person, and they have a misconception or a bias about me, and that person cannot see me no matter how much I reveal myself to that person, time to go in a different direction. That person is a fixed, immutable statue. You are a clay murti, that it moves, that creates, dissolves, forms, becomes formless. This is the essence of the soul. This is the essence of spirituality. Let's release our legs. And I'm going to invite you to come into Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, Recline Butterfly. Now you can come directly onto the earth. Or my friends, if you have your bolster or cushions nearby, you're also invited to reach for those if you wish. Your choice. No need to. I'll show you if you're going to use your bolster. Just have it lifted at one end and use whatever you have available to lift it at one end. Could be a couple of large books at the top end of your bolster or pillow or cushions. Feet stay together, and then you come into your Supta Baddha Konasana. If this does not feel comfortable, you can bring your legs together and take your feet wide, knees together. So it's a constructive rest variation. And remember, you don't need these fancy things like bolsters. You can come directly to the earth. Wherever you are, let's soften here, as if we are dissolving back into the earth itself. Check how your lower back is feeling. If it feels uncomfortable to have your knees in the Supta Baddha Konasana, you can always bring the knees together and feet wide. That will ease the lower back. You can also place some cushions underneath the knees here, underneath the thighs. That will also give you a little bit of extra support. Create some comfort for yourself here. Closing your eyes if not already. Softening, 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 dissolving, dissolving, dissolving. And when it is time for you to rise up from your mat today, remember that Shavasana is corpse pose. Shavasana is the integration of the practice. So that when you rise up from your mat, you're rising up as a being that has been molded, that has been shaped by your own practice. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 3 more breaths here in Supta Baddha Konasana for your Shavasana today. Inhaling. With helping hands, bring your knees towards each other, your thighs towards each other. Roll over onto your left side, the side of the heart. Inhale to come up into your Sukhasana. And bringing your hands to your heart center. We'll close our practice by chanting Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha and then Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad.